Hello, class. My name is Trenton Hart, and my media intervention proposal will focus on occupational segregation. The intervention will be spread through public service announcements on social media. These public service announcements will be communicated through call to actions found in the intervention's narratives. The overview of occupational segregation starts with its simple definition. Occupational segregation is when people from different backgrounds and demographics are underrepresented in certain workplaces. Occupational segregation is apparent due to a history of racism and sexism that can lead to wage gaps and other inequalities in the workplace. A Pew Research Center survey found that only about a third, or 33% of women and 36% of men, worked in equally gender represented workplaces. Regarding specific wage gap disparities, a report by National Science Board, as seen below in the figure, highlighted the fact that women only comprise less than a third of science and engineering occupations. These occupations are among the fastest growing and most lucrative occupations available. The normalization of occupational segregation has led groups into low income and even low benefit jobs that are not deserved. There were a couple of theories that affected the creation of this media intervention. The first is the spiral of silence. Although this theory is not from our course material, I believe it is important and it heavily influenced my media intervention proposal. This theory highlights the habit most people have involving fear of social isolation. This forms a person's shared opinions and creates a space where revolutionary thought is completely shut down. This intervention will set up and speak out and attempt to create a societal change that counteracts the current spiral of silence that affects the issue of occupational segregation. The second theory that influenced this intervention is the narrative persuasion theory. The intervention, like the theory, will create a possibility of personalized involvement through reading the storytelling involved in public service announcements across social media. The narrative created will create a society that people affected by the spiral of silence can turn to for motivation. The stories will inspire change through realized possibilities. Storytelling will also be present in the intervention through Instagram ads involving real actors and fictional situations. These situations will be influenced by segregation in the workplace, highlighting promotions, hiring, pay, and other types of disparities. The primary target audience for this intervention will be the men that are entering or have recently entered working age. The prime age labor force participation is currently aged 25 through 54. Since this intervention is targeting the men entering or recently entered, the ages targeted will be 22 through 34. Men will be targeted due to the current segregation patterns in the workplace, with men taking more than 70% of the occupations available within fields like STEM. The responsibility of stepping up and making a change rests on their shoulders. The secondary audience will be HR professionals. This intervention must persuade HR representatives due to their position of influence within the workplace. The storytelling will add HR characters and departments to properly communicate the need for change and positive benefits of that change. Moving into where the storytelling will be taking place, we have social media interaction. The main channel this intervention will reside on will be LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an application or website that contains over 1 billion people interested in or already involved in a workplace. LinkedIn is employment focused, meaning that the main goal of the app is to help with and change the hiring process. According to research expert Stacy Jo Dixon of Statista, 50.6% of LinkedIn users fall into this media intervention's target audience. The image on the right is an example of an infographic that this intervention might post on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn allows for video postings as well, the narratives as well as the infographics will be posted. The second social media channel utilized will be Instagram. Instagram will be used because of the younger audience present. This audience is fueled by revolution and social reform. About 61% of Instagram users will be between the ages of 18 to 34. Although younger than the specific target audience that this intervention has selected, the ages 18 through 22 can still be referred to as possibly interested in participating in the workplace. Finally, Instagram Reels creates a great template and provides many possibilities for storytelling. The key messages of this campaign are what will influence both the storytelling within the Instagram Reels as well as the infographics that will spread across LinkedIn. The primary intervention and projected best way to address occupational segregation will be storytelling through Instagram Reels and video posts on LinkedIn. The key messages in the storytelling will involve the history and how it carved the current state of occupational segregation. Fictional situations that mirror past workplace instances will highlight the undeserved difference women have faced in the workplace. Because the spiral of silence theory is quite hard to fully understand on paper, some cowardly characters will be utilized to show how the theory has formed occupational segregation. The infographics will highlight quantitative data and research findings over qualitative ideals, as seen in the prior slide. Things like the fact that 22.5% of positions in the STEM field were filled by women in 1993, and after 22 years, there was only about a 6% rise recorded, meaning this is just not enough. The change isn't big enough, and the infographics filled with data like this will persuade those not already swayed by our persuasive storytelling. Thank you for listening to my social intervention pitch, and my sources are on the next slide.